Okay, so I want to make this quick video just as a comment because it's unfortunate that we have to deal with this stuff, but I just kind of wanted to give some counterbalance. I had a comment on this video right here, Proof of Weak Hands, Most Transparent Project. I've gotten quite a few views on it. But I wanted to comment, I had a comment that I approved this morning, and I wanted to make a video responding to this comment, not because I'm an expert or anything, but I mean, I have had experience, and oftentimes someone can come across, they can come across a little bit of information, and they can put it out there, and there's no counter opinion to the information. And this is really just my opinion, but it's an opinion based off past experiences that I've had. No ways am I a legal expert per se, but I have paid for legal advice in this arena in the past. So I want to specifically talk about this right here. This comment. Shindal Khan is clearly trying to be a bit of a kind of a heads up. I was going to type it out and I thought, you know, I'll just make a video on this. He's clearly trying to, I think his intentions are right. I'm assuming it's a he. His intentions are correct. He's trying to be helpful and he's trying to warn people. But unfortunately, this is just a lack of experience right here and a lack of understanding what various legal definitions mean, based off of the legal advice that I have paid for before. Like I have, several years ago, I was researching a business model that I had the potential to be an investor in, and I had some potential concerns, regulatory concerns, and I was trying to stay on the as much of the, I wanted to be as white hat as possible, and I didn't want to run into issues with the law. So I specifically paid a lawyer with FTC experience to evaluate that business model. And the thing that concerned me in that particular business model was it had a multi-tier affiliate program. Affiliate programs are obviously not illegal. I mean, affiliate programs are like Amazon. Amazon pays like a 4% affiliate if you refer someone through your affiliate link to their website to purchase a product. But there are multi-tier affiliate structures out there as well where, I earn 4% here, and then if you buy through my product, buy through my link, and you refer someone to buy, then I make, maybe 2% there or whatever. It's a multi-tier affiliate structure. So right here he says the U.S. Federal Trade Commission states, steer clear of multi-level marketing plans that pay commissions for recruiting new distributors. I want this to be very clear. Steer clear of multi-level marketing plans that pay commissions for recruiting new distributors. Here's the key. What are they paying commissions for? For recruiting new distributors. This doesn't include Amazon. They pay commissions for you having them buy products. Notice with Amazon, you don't ever sign a distributor agreement. You don't sign a licensing agreement. You just have a link. They're actually illegal pyramid schemes. A pyramid scheme, commonly known as a pyramid scam, is a business model that recruits members via a promise of payments or services. That's important, a promise of payments or services for enrolling others into the scheme. So what is the payment for? The payment is for enrolling others. In other words, there's no real product or service. You're just paying people for a chance to get, it's like a money game, right? And these still exist. You can find them around online where cash gifting. You pay somebody, a cash gift, so, and basically by them paying the cash gift to you, they basically have the right or the website or whatever to go get someone else to pay them a cash gift. This definition means that's illegal. So a pyramid scheme, commonly known as a pyramid scam, is a business model that recruits people via a promise of payments or services for enrolling others into the scheme rather than supplying investments or to sell products. In other words, if they're supplying investments or to sell products or services, then they're potentially illegal. And I would tell you that more modern definitions have a lot of interesting take on this right here. You got to be very careful what's considered an investment. And that's the potential issues that the crypto space has in general, is how they're being classified. But the point is, an illegal pyramid scheme is a business model that recruits members via the promise of payments or services for enrolling others into the scheme rather than supplying investments or sale of products or services. And then he comes down here and says masternodes anyone. Well, this is incorrect. First of all, masternodes are not multi-level structures ever at all. if masternodes run into issues in the future through government regulation, they will be, and it's because of a totally different definition, and it's not this definition, unfortunately. I mean, this is clearly beyond misguided and a misunderstanding. And I'll show you another definition from the based off the Federal Trade Commission in a moment, another better explanation. But he's trying to reference masternodes, and I think he's referencing masternodes in the proof of weekends. Notice I didn't even put my masternode link in here, and I'll tell you why. The masternode link isn't even a true masternode link the way I understand it. I mean, masternodes, are different from the way that I understand them. It's really more of an affiliate link, and they probably, I get the feeling that they use it as they call it a masternode link from a form of marketing. But I consider the proof of weekends masternode link really to be more of an affiliate link. However, there is none of us, like, there's no we're not buying in quote unquote to the business model. I mean, you're buying proof of weekend tokens. And with that being said, now at some point maybe the FTC may come out in the crypto space and redefine some of this stuff. That's always possible. Laws always change and they always get updated. And that's what I found out, by the way, when I paid for my legal counsel. However, at this point in time, this definition just doesn't even apply. It just does not even apply. There may be some other legal definition. I'm not going to, again, regulations are always a risk in this space, but this definition does not even apply. There's no multi-level structure at all being created in the compensation plan. It is a single tier compensation plan. Another thing that you'll find out is this definition right here. This is, by the way, from the Federal Trade Commission's website on pyramid schemes. And if you come down here, what is a pyramid scheme and what is legitimate marketing? So they clearly recognize that there is legitimate marketing that unfortunately gets tied into pyramid schemes, and they're trying to draw a distinction. So if you read this, it says a pyramid scheme now comes in so many forms that may be difficult to recognize immediately. However, they all share one overriding characteristic. They promise consumers or investors large profits based primarily on recruiting others to join their program. Clearly, that's not Amazon, and clearly that's not proof of weekends. Not based on profits from any real investment or real goods to the public. Unless crypto gets defined as not being a real good, then at this point in time, this clearly exonerates the claim that somehow proof of weekends violates the FTC, according to my opinion. Some schemes may purport to sell a product, but they often simply use the product to hide their pyramid structure. Again, there's no pyramid structure in proof of weekends. There are two telltale signs that a product is being used to disguise a pyramid scheme. Inventory loading, which is where people end up with, like, $10,000 worth of soap in their garage. Inventory loading and a lack of retail sales. Inventory loading occurs when companies' incentivized program forces recruits to buy more products than they could ever sell, often at an inflated price. This is irrelevant. It occurs throughout company distribution systems. The people at the top. By the way, if you want to know how interesting laws are, here's a problem. So this particular law, I can tell you firsthand, legitimate companies run into issues with this law based off of what they consider inventory loading. Because if you actually buy a franchise based off of how inventory loading is here, and this is one of the things the lawyer was telling me, based off how the FTC will consider inventory loading in a home business model, many franchises would violate this law because you have to have so much of the product on hand, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to open your doors. So, that's one of the things he was telling me. He was like, franchises violate this model if you were to apply this rule to them in the same way. So this is ambiguous, but it has absolutely nothing to do with proof of weekends. If this occurs throughout the company's distribution system, the people at the top of the pyramid reap substantial profits, blah, blah, blah. The people at the bottom make excessive payments for inventory, blah, blah, blah. A lack of retail sales. Again, a Ponzi scheme is closely related to a pyramid because it involves around continuous recruiting. Proof of weekends doesn't even matter if anyone ever recruits anyone. That's irrelevant. But a Ponzi scheme, the promoter generally has no product to sell. Again, we're comparing apples to apples. Proof of weekends, clearly people are buying the product and pays no commissions to investors who recruit new members. You don't get paid for recruiting anything in proof of weekends. They get paid just like Amazon. You don't get paid for someone becoming a distributor to Amazon. You get paid when they buy Amazon products through your link. Again, just like proof of weekends, you get paid when your affiliates buy through the link when they buy the P3D tokens. Instead, the promoter collects payments from a stream of people, promising them all the same high rate of return on a short-term investment. Again, there's no promising of returns at all in proof of weak hands. In the typical Ponzi scheme, there's no real investment opportunity. Obviously, there's a major potential, there's a major business model with proof of weak hands. And the promoter just uses the money from new recruits to pay obligations owed to long-standing members of the program. This does not exist in proof of weak hands. In English, there's an expression that nicely summarizes the scheme. It's called stealing from Peter to pay Paul. Again, this is exactly what I explained in one of my videos. This is what a typical Ponzi scheme is when new investors are needed to pay returns on old investors, and you're paying the money. This doesn't occur. The money comes from the commissions paid out simply comes from the exchange fee that is clearly stated on the website. No one loses their original investment at all. As far as they may lose value in the P3D tokens at some point, but they don't lose their token value, or their ETH value is not giving out to other people, new investors. In fact, I can show you that the interesting thing about P3D is that the big fish who come in, sometimes it's the exact opposite. Instead of people at the top benefiting from the people at the bottom, the way P3D is set up, fascinating enough, sometimes the people at the bottom benefit better than the people do at the top, and I'll show you that in a moment. Many of you may be familiar with Ponzi schemes reported in international financial news, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this comment is well intended. It just simply doesn't apply, and it's so unfortunate because Shindal definitely seems like, you know, he's smarter than the average bear, but I mean, I don't even know. I mean, it just does not even apply. There's not a multi-level structure in place. Commissions are not paid for recruiting distributors. There is an actual sale of a product. And here's the other thing. You are only paid, Amazon pays 4% commission. If you send someone to Amazon and they buy a TV through your link, or they buy a book through your link, or they buy anything through your link, you get paid a 4% commission. 4%. With proof of weak hands, you make like 3.3%. Amazon actually pays out, and Amazon is not known as a lucrative affiliate program. No one, you know, that I'm aware of is, you know, using an Amazon affiliate link as anything more than a supplemental income, because you're just not making enough money. Proof of weak hands, if someone puts in $100, you make $3.30. The rest of the money goes, you know, the exchange fee, but out of the exchange fee, you make 3%. I mean, I'm sorry, you make 33% of the exchange fee. Well, on $100, the exchange fee is $10. So you make a whopping $3.30. So again, this is where people are missing the boat. And there's a lot of big investors in proof of weak hands. I mean, there's a lot of big investors in proof of weak hands, and there's a lot of that already understand this. And there's also, I think this is the kind of thinking that some of the larger YouTubers had. People just aren't. I'm not a coder. I'm tempted to just offer a reward if somebody would read the code and find a mistake or problem in the code. Because the reality is, if there's a mistake in the code, I personally would want to know about it. I only got $300 over there right now, but I would want to know if there's a mistake in the code, because that's really the single biggest risk that we have, is that there's a mistake in the code, or someone could hack the contract, or someone, you know, the devs are misrepresenting the code, which supposedly, I've read the Discord, several people have claimed that they've read through the code. The devs have very limited ability to do anything to the code. They can rename a couple things, and I forget, there's 2 or 3 things the devs can do according to the code, but they can't take any money out. They can't, I mean, it's very limited to what they can do. I forget what, I don't want to say because I can't remember exactly what someone was summarizing in the Discord when I was reading about it. However, the idea that, you know, POWH3D is set up intentionally to be some sort of a scam based off the current model, there's just simply no proof of that. I mean, there's no proof of that whatsoever. And it's just unfortunate that that people like Shindal say these sort of things. And I wish they would just bring more proof, like, hey, there's a problem in the code here. Hey, this is the potential right here, instead of just, you know, one of the comments I deleted this morning just said trash. Okay, I at least appreciate the fact that he right here gave his reasonings, And I appreciate that because it's well thought out. And clearly this is why his opinion, and this video is not going to change his opinion probably, and that's totally okay, but at least he has an opinion. I mean, you got to respect that. You got to respect that. But I would love to see someone come and find an issue with the code, because I think that's the single biggest risk that we have, period. At all. I think people need to be paying attention to proof of weak hands, because I think they're onto something. And I don't know what the future of proof of weak hands, I don't know where it's going to go, but in general, there are going to be other cryptocurrencies coming out using a similar model to this, because there's a lot of potential applications for this model, as I've stated in other videos. Now I want to explain briefly how someone at the top actually benefits the people at the bottom. So hold on. So logging in, I wanted to kind of show you some statistics if I could find them. I think they're on the blockchain. Oh, no, this ain't going to be it. Wow! 29,000 transactions. This was down to 1,000 at one point. That is mind-blowing. That is mind-blowing. The ETH balance, that cannot be right. Wait a minute. Wow. 9,000. They're almost from 10,000 total ETH in the contract. Ladies and gentlemen, when I started this, it was like 1,000. I mean, this thing has grown by just the size of the ETH, the amount of ETH. Not my money hasn't grown 10 times, but the amount of ETH. When I got in, this was 0.0043. So it hasn't grown by 10 times. But the number of ETH in the contracts have grown from 1,000 ETH in the entire contract, proof of weak hands, to now 9,000. That's mind-blowing growth. That's crazy. I believe it's right here. I wanted to show you. Okay, so here we go. By the way, the devs clearly are reinvesting. The devs have had down, this is a dev account. They've had down to 15%. They're clearly reinvesting. This is the amount of, wow, Ethereum volume. So the way proof of weak hands works, if you don't know, I want to explain to you how big whales who come in here and buy big stakes actually benefit us little guys. So the way proof of weak hands works is there's a 10% transaction fee every time you buy or sell tokens or you transfer tokens. So if you go to an exchange, basically proof of weak hands 3D is essentially they've set themselves up as a exchange on the Ethereum blockchain for their token specifically at this point in time. Who knows if it will go anywhere else, but think of Ether Delta or whatever. It works very similar in the fact of it's a decentralized transaction that occurs. It occurs on the Ethereum blockchain. So it's not like it's occurring internally on the website. You don't need the website to access the blockchain. You can actually access the blockchain without the website. There's no administrators controlling the money behind the scenes. Everything, that's why I said if someone will look at the code, because the only risk is the risk of the smart contracts actually on the Ethereum blockchain. That's where I was at earlier. This is the Ethereum blockchain right here. These are the transactions on the blockchain. This is all decentralized. You can see this, you can read it, you can look at it. So this is the number of contracts. This is the volume each day. So when the volume is high, what's happening is that 10% exchange fee gets distributed to all token holders, and you end up getting earnings. Now this is my actual account. This is my desktop, my laptop. You would see that I have, around a $300 value, and you would have you get earnings because the earnings come to you in the form of Ether, and it would end up here, and you can reinvest it or you can withdraw it directly to your MetaMask wallet on the Ethereum blockchain. So you can reinvest Ether, you can withdraw it. When you reinvest, you're just buying more P3D tokens, or you can withdraw it. And this money is not locked up. The P3D tokens, you can sell them at any point in time. You can sell all your tokens, which I have 0 on this account. You can sell all of them if you want. It's not like the money's being held for 140 days or something. That doesn't exist. It's all transparent. But the big fish, I want to come back to what I was saying earlier, how big fish help the little guys out, so to speak. When a big fish comes in and buys in, this guy here, 2%. Yesterday they were at 3%, but this has prevented them from having 3%. But when the big fish come in here with large amounts of money, they produce huge exchange fees that go out to everyone else. So if you think about it in the form of a pyramid, when the big fish comes in at the top, basically, then his fees get trickled down to everyone else. If you or I buy in for $100 and this guy up here's got 50,000, and there are people that have that. This guy up here's got $50,000 invested. Your $100 does squat for his 50,000. I mean, yeah, he gets a larger percentage of your $10 exchange fee than everybody else, but it does squat. He's got $50,000 invested. It does squat. It takes a bunch of people to be able to, make him whole, essentially. And it works out both ways. What makes it work so well is because it's balanced so well. Because at the same time, given some time, the person who buys in big eventually makes more eventually. It just takes time, but they'll make more off the volume of transaction fees. But it just takes time. And in that aspect, it's really more balanced, and it's really not a pyramid. It's really better set up like a circle. It's not a pyramid. There's no one, quote unquote, at the top. But if you're in this program and you're a little guy sitting there with $100 or $300 or $1,000 or $5,000, and someone comes in with $50,000 or $100,000, then rest assured that you're going to benefit massively from that whale coming in, as opposed to when someone small comes in. So and from that perspective, you probably benefit a great deal by the big fish, as opposed to, listen, here's the thing. You don't ever have to send someone to your masternode link. You're still going to profit. This token value is going up drastically, and the earnings are earnings are coming from the exchange fees, and the earnings are where that's where your profits are coming from. So once again, I'll be explaining this till I'm blue in the face, but hopefully that clarifies things. And I'm going to leave this comment here. I appreciate it. I'm going to put this video down here kind of as a response to the comment, just for others to see and just for being transparent. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please post them below this video. Please hit that subscribe and that bell notification icon. Thank you so much.